Today, I'm going to discuss the Lesson 8, which is all about higher thinking skills through IT-based projects. There are three key elements of a constructivist approach. The first one is the teacher creating learning environment. Another important responsibility of the teacher is to develop a learning environment where students feel motivated to learn within the boundaries and expectation of a safe classroom. The second one is the teacher giving students the tools and facilities. With a teacher tool, a teacher can evoke numerous innovative methods to keep their students interested. And the last one is the teacher facilitating learning. For the teacher, facilitating learning means a more engaged classroom where the students demonstrate that the teacher has made a progress in the teaching objectives. In this lesson, we shall discuss 4 types of IT-based projects which can effectively be used in order to engage students in activities of higher plane of thinking. So 4 IT-based projects. First is resource-based projects. Second is simple creations. Third is guided hypermedia projects. The last one is web-based projects. Now, let us see 4 IT-based projects conducive to develop higher thinking skills and creativity among learners. But let us discuss first the resource-based projects. The teacher steps out of the traditional rule of being a content expert and information provider, but instead let the students find their own facts and information. Relating to finding information, the central principle is to make the students go beyond the textbook and curriculum materials. Students are also encouraged to go to the library, particularly to the modern extension of the modern library, the internet. So the general flow of events in resource-based projects are: first, the teacher determines the topic for the examination of the class. The second one is the teacher presents the problem to the class. The third one is the students find information on the problem or questions. Number 4, students organize their information in response to the problem or question. Furthermore, the inquiry-based or discovery approach is given importance in resource-based projects. This requires that the students, individually or cooperatively with members of his group, relate gathered information to the real world. Examples of resource-based projects are the laboratory activities, which uses inquiry or discovery approach. In here, we collaborate in the group to find solutions or answer in a certain activity. Sometimes, our teacher will give us an assignment which requires answer from the internet. The table below can provide the difference between a traditional and resource-based learning approach to instruction. Let's proceed to the second one, which is the simple creations. Students can also be assigned to create their software materials to supplement the need for relevant and effective materials. Creating is more consonant with planning, making, assembling, designing, or building. Examples of software materials is Creative Writer by Microsoft on writing. Using this program, which is specifically targeted at children, it is possible to create documents such as letters, posters, flyers, and stories, complete with different fonts, clip art, word art, and effects. Another is KidWords Deluxe, combines a word processor and paint program into one ultra-fan multimedia creativity kit. It is packed with inventive tools, animated stumps, wild sound effects, and a special feature that lets the computer read words and story back to you. Kids can create multimedia books, stories, poems, and more with words, pictures, and sounds. Another example is a multimedia work. Is a computer-based rhetorical artifact in which multiple media are integrated into an interactive whole. Creativity is said to combine three kinds of skills or abilities. The first one is analyzing, distinguishing similarities and differences, seeing the project as problem to be solved. It means to study something closely and carefully, to learn the nature and relationship of the parts of something by a close and careful examination, like analyze a problem. The second one is synthesizing, making spontaneous connections among ideas, those generating interesting or new ideas. It means to synthesize is to combine ideas and create a completely new idea. And the last one is promoting selling of new ideas to allow the public to test the ideas themselves. The 5K tasks to develop creativity. The first one is define the task. Clarify the goal of the completed projects to the students. Second one is brainstorm. The students themselves will be allowed to generate their own ideas on the project. Rather than shoot down ideas, the teacher encourage idea exchange. The third one is judge the ideas. The students themselves make an appraisal for or against any idea. Only when students are completely off track should the teacher intervene. The fourth one is act. The students do their work with the teacher, a facilitator. The last one is adapt flexibility. The student should be allowed to shift gears and not follow an action path rigidly. The third one is guided hypermedia projects. The production of self-made multimedia projects can be approached in two different ways. A is instructive tool, B and communication tool. And the last one is web-based projects.
We are going to talk about the 4 IT-based projects that cater higher order thinking skills. 4 IT-based projects can effectively be used in order to engage students in activities of higher plane of thinking. First one is resource-based projects. Second one is simple creations. Third is guided hypermedia projects. And fourth is web-based projects. First one is resource-based projects. In this project, the teacher steps out of the traditional role of being a content expert and information provider, and instead lets the student find their own facts and information. In this scheme, the teacher is not the typical provider of information, but he or she will just facilitate the learning process, in which the aspect of constructivism is used in this kind of strategy. Second one is simple creation. In here, the students are assigned to make or create their software materials to supplement for the relevant and effective materials. Students' creativity is tested here. Creativity here connotes planning, making, assembling, designing, or building. Third one is guided hypermedia project. This refers to self-made projects. It could be approached as an instructive way, such as making of PowerPoint presentation, or as a communicative tool, such as when students make multimedia presentations. One example of this is when a teacher will ask the students to make a PowerPoint presentation or video recording and make it in the Movie Maker. And the fourth one is web-based projects. Students can be made to create and post web pages on a given topic, but creating web pages, even single web pages, may be too sophisticated and time-consuming for the average student.
So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.